everyone, this is Tricky and welcome back to another top 10 video. If you are new to my channel, our main goal here is to take over the world and we shall succeed, but what better way to take over the world is to find the Pokemon that could help us do it. Along with all of you, I needed a partner in crime, so I brought my friend Dobbs.
What is going on, guys? This is Dobbs here.
Say hello to Dobbs. If you don't know who Dobbs is, he's a YouTuber who does Pokemon top 10s, theories, and gameplay videos, so be sure to check out his channel. If I had to recommend two videos, these are my favorites, and if you love Pokemon, you'll definitely love these too. So check them out whenever you can. And we're also doing another video on his channel, top 10 hilariously overpowered Pokemon. So be sure to check that out. It will be in the description and in the annotations. So yeah, we should probably get started now. What the crap happened to my voice? Keep in mind that this video is just for fun, so have fun with us. Your job is to list the Pokemon you think would take over the world in the comment section below. So let's go ahead and get started. We already know that most legendary Pokemon could probably take over the world, such as Mewtwo, Arceus, and Rayquaza, but those would be way too obvious for the list. So we're going to be thinking outside of the box and look at the other possibilities. Dobbs is going to get us started, so let's go.
If you already didn't know, ice cream has already taken over the world. In fact, 87% of Americans have ice cream in their freezers right now. And with that percentage, they are only the second biggest ice cream eaters in the world, Australia being number one.
And New Zealand too. They love ice cream.
So it seems that ice cream has already taken over the world. But what happens if you give an ice cream a face, a brain, and supernatural powers? You get a Vanillux. Now a lot of people hate this Pokemon because of its design. But me personally, I love it.
I hate it.
Now this Pokemon is a mastermind. It disguises itself as something people love, when it's really something evil and capable of taking over the world. At this point, you're probably asking yourself, how could an innocent ice cream cone do this? Well, if both heads get angry at the same time, this Pokemon will create a powerful blizzard and will consume everything around it. The end of the world is near. Ice cream has already invaded our houses, and at any moment, they could strike.
Dun dun dun. Taking our number 9 spot is a new face to Pokemon, and its face is kinda creepy. Salandit is our new fire poison salamander Pokemon, which has a very interesting typing, and I can't wait to see it in Sun and Moon. But with a face like that, it just looks like it's plotting something. It's an evil mastermind. That's the only explanation. On top of possessing the power of fire and poison, the female Salandit has the cruel ability to make just about anything do her bidding. Female Salandits can release pheromones that can attract males of all species, including Pokemon and humans. What the crap. Once the victim inhale this essence, Salandit can cause them to obey their every will. And you never know, they may be able to attract every single gender. So this little salamander will grin at you, seduce you, and then you'll become their mindless minion. Lovely. With a Pokemon who can control the will of every species in the world with just their scent, that's definitely something that could take over the world. They can poison you and burn you alive on top of that, but they'll make you like it. Whoa, that's creepy, dude. What the fuck?
This next Pokemon likes to take his time with world domination. At number 8, we have Gumshoes. Now with that haircut, you can only assume that this Pokemon is up to no good. This Pokemon likes to begin his plans for world domination in the shadows. To get people to follow him for world domination, he brags about his empire that started with only a small loan of 1 million rare candies.
A small loan of 1 million rare candies. How unfortunate.
On top of that, he promises to build a wall around the Alola region so that foreigners will stay out. Which is pretty different. Anyways, after he gains support from millions of Pokemon around the region, he then runs for president of Alola, because his main goal is to make Alola great again. Once it has control of Alola, it only begins. He will then call Roserade Donald a fat tipeg. This will cause chaos across the Sinnoh region, and it will eventually start a war between Unova and Sinnoh. With this kind of power, who knows what Gumshoes could do? And for that reason, we chose Gumshoes for number 8.
Moving on to number 7, we have Beautyfly.
Wait, Beautifly? That's just a cute little butterfly. How could that possibly take over the world?
I wouldn't judge it. Read its Pokedex entries.
Okay. Beautifly's favorite food is sweet pollen of flowers. If you want to see this Pokemon, just leave a potted flower by an open window. Beautifly is sure to come looking for pollen. I don't really see what's wrong with this.
We can keep going.
Okay, its colorfully patterned wings are its most prominent feature. It flies through flower-covered fields looking for pollen. It attacks ferociously when angered. What?
Yep, keep going.
Despite its appearance, it has an aggressive nature. It attacks by jabbing with its long, thin mouth. Wait, what?
Yep.
It stabs its prey with its long, narrow mouth to drain its prey's fluids. Okay, well that's a definite nope.
Yeah, so this cute little butterfly will catch you by surprise, pretend to be innocent, then drain your bodily fluids if you happen to make it angry. They could be angry all the time for that matter, so what if they wanted to join forces and take over the world? It's very possible. This is not a rare Pokemon either, they're quite common. There's millions of them in the Pokemon world, so there's definitely a power in numbers. If it sees you take out that flamethrower, it will probably use Stun Spore before you could even move. Or even breathe. This is the most deceitful butterfly ever. It will trick us, and then it will destroy us.
Moving on to number 6, we have Gardevoir. But wait a minute, they say this Pokemon is one of the most loyal companions a trainer could have, and would even sacrifice her life to protect them. So how could Gardevoir possibly take over the world? Well, it would most likely be an accident. Gardevoir has the ability to create black holes, which, if you didn't know, are the most deadly killing machines in the entire galaxy. So if Gardevoir feels like his trainer is threatened, creating a black hole just to save her might actually just destroy her, along with all of us. Just to put it in perspective, black holes are so powerful that light itself can't even escape them. But even when being a pure-hearted Pokemon, something with this much power should not be underestimated, because what if one of them turned evil? Well, you would have a Pokemon that can create black holes, and that's not good. Gardevoir is one of the most powerful Psychic-type Pokemon in the Pokemon universe. And being a fairy type, it can easily take down some of the strongest Pokemon that are dragon type. Someone who doesn't want to serve Gardevoir would just be eaten by one of her black holes and cease to exist. Of course, world domination doesn't have to be all evil. Gardevoir could politely rule the world and destroy all the people who are evil. Better watch out, Team Rocket.
Taking our number 5 spot, we have Rotom. It's safe to say that our entire world depends on electronics. I mean, you're using electronics right now. Cell phones, computers, the internet itself, air conditioning, game consoles, ovens, stoves, all that kind of stuff, it all depends on electricity. Currently in the games, Rotom can only take control of a washing machine, microwave, lawnmower, fan, Pokedex, and a refrigerator, but that's because Game Freak cannot freaking make a Pokemon for every single electronic device in the world. Rotom can possess any kind of electrical device, so if they continue to breed, there would be enough for a world dominatrix, and it would be so much like the Matrix when the machines overtake man. Much like ice cream, electronics already rule the world, so giving them a consciousness will only bring more danger to the equation. We're gonna die.
Moving on to number 4, we have a Pokemon that you probably expected to be on this list, and that is Ditto. Ditto is a creature who can transform into any object, human or Pokemon. With that kind of power, almost anything can happen. I mean, what if Ditto transformed into the president and decided to launch nuclear missiles? Or what if he decided to transform into a chef and decided to overcook my food? Okay, that's taking it too far, but you get the point. Not only that, Ditto can also breed with just about anything. So if it did decide to take over the world, it could command its offspring of many different kinds of Pokemon to help overthrow mankind. Now that's scary. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they did that. I mean, come on, we're all guilty of making Ditto our breeding slave. I mean, just look at its face. It looks like it's waiting to strike for his revenge. Ditto use Transform. Ditto use Judgment. Time to go.
So we already have Gardevoir, who is a very powerful psychic type, but what happens if you add a steel body to a telekinetic genius? Metagross would definitely be able to take over the world and have tons of metal minions happily abiding by its orders. This Pokemon has 4 brains that are joined by a complex neural network that could easily outsmart a supercomputer. We know that Alakazam is also one of the most smart Pokemon that exists, but there are brilliant geniuses and there's always the mad geniuses too. Plus, one is practically indestructible. Both definitely have the ability to take over the world, but I kind of see Metagross as like a main antagonist of a good sci-fi flick. That's the kind of world domination leader that I would love to see. Even its pre-evolution's body can withstand a jet plane crash and not even leave a single scratch. After all, Metagross is a result of 2 Metangs fusing, so that's twice the amount of power. It's Durant and it can control your mind. That is very dangerous. Metagross also has a creative way of getting rid of opponents. Metagross will pin down its prey with its 1,200-pound body and slowly eat them with its giant mouth on its stomach. Very classy. You think that's heavy? Mega Metagross is over 2,000 pounds, so try shoving that off the throne.
What's a video about Pokemon that could take over the world without a legendary? I mean, Yveltal is definitely the Pokemon to choose. So for number 2, we chose Yveltal, the legendary of death itself. Now Yveltal is a scary Pokemon. It has the ability to suck out life force by simply making its body glow. Plus, it being a Dark-type Pokemon just proves that it could have malicious intent. Because for those who don't know, Dark-type Pokemon are actually evil-type in Japan. Even if you had a powerful Psychic-type Pokemon that could potentially mind control it, it wouldn't even phase Yveltal, because it is immune to psychic attacks. Even if you were to kill this Pokemon, a reaction will happen and Yveltal will suck every life force in the world and become a cocoon again to save its life. So with that said, you can either die from this thing, or you can either die from this thing. Choose wisely. Oh, and by the way, Tricky definitely didn't force me into choosing this Pokemon for number 2. Help me.
I love Yveltal, such a cutie. But anyway, what could possibly overthrow a giant death bird? The most beautiful Pokemon ever. Well, it's obvious, it's Sylveon. Not really, just kidding, but seriously. Taking our number 1 spot is the Abomination Pokemon, and I feel like it shouldn't exist. Mr. Mime. I despise this thing, but if Pokemon were real, I feel as if it would completely screw up everyone's reality because it is an a-hole. This is not a sweet creature. The anime is lying to you. If you happen to interrupt it while it's miming, it will slap the crap out of you with its freakishly large hands. It also has very powerful psychic powers, so whenever it gets butthurt, it will want to inflict pain on you. It is a fairy type, so it could potentially take down Yveltal. But didn't we say that once you defeat Yveltal, it will steal every living creature's life? Wouldn't that include Mr. Mime too? Well, that may be true, but Mr. Mime also has another very scary ability. Mr. Mime can convince you that things that do not exist are actually real. It makes fake realities for you. So if you are afraid of spiders, Mr. Mime can create fake spiders that you could touch and feel all around you, but they're not actually there. Once you start going crazy and begin to believe it's real, it can transform from imaginary to reality. That means your fears will become alive. It can create fearful visions for people and Pokemon, and with that kind of power, you could pretty much control everything. Fear is the most powerful thing. And I could be a wuss. Mr. Mime being a psychic type also gives it the ability to read your mind and know all of your weaknesses. Phobias and actual dangerous things will become completely true. Yveltal may be a cocoon once defeated, but what if Mr. Mime made it believe that it took over the world when it really didn't? It's just asleep in a cocoon. In a never-ending dream. What if Metagross wanted to overthrow it too, but Mr. Mime already read its mind and created an alternate world just for Metagross? Now it's trapped, and it doesn't know if it's real or not. Mr. Mime gets the final laugh. Ugh, kill it. Kill it with fire. That concept is actually really terrifying. But anyways, those are our top 10 Pokemon who could take over the world. Just a quick reminder, please go check out the video on Dobbs' channel, Top 10 Hilariously Overpowered Pokemon. I hope to see all of you there, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more fun content. Like I said earlier, our main goal here is world domination, so I would love it if you joined in and helped us rule the world and destroy all the Mr. Mimes because I don't like them. Anyway, these are my social links. You could follow me on the following stuff and all this other stuff, blah blah blah, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye!